Next, we are honored to learn from Adillah Muhammad, my new friend, my bright spot in the last couple of weeks, if you could stand with me. And Adillah is the founder of The Third Place. The Third Place brings together individuals, emerging initiatives, and organizations who share a common goal, ensuring that Maine is the way life should be for all people. Together, participants are building a statewide ecosystem to ensure that Black Mainers experience a quality of place that considers social and professional needs. This process acknowledges that there is structural and institutional racism that makes it more difficult for Black, Indigenous, and people of color Mainers to enjoy the quality of life that Maine is so well known for. So please join me in welcoming Adillah Muhammad and the other members, if you want to stand, please, just briefly. Anybody that's here that's a member of The Third Place. Adillah?
Thank you, Kathy. You made it sound a little tight there. We have a lot of fun at The Third Place. So I just want to say thank you to one of my board members, Ed, who made it here. My other two had COVID, so they couldn't make it here, and they send their regrets. When I first moved to Maine, I was so excited to be here because as a child, do you remember the show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous? I grew up in Atlanta and I heard Robin Leach talk about, it must have been like Bar Harbor or Booth Bay somewhere, and he talked about mild summers. And I asked my dad, what does mild mean? And he said, it doesn't get that hot. And I was like, that's where I want to go, you know? And so we had a spot behind our garden that was cleared, and I always called it Maine. And like I would go there. I made up a husband and everything, and I got it. So I willed it into existence. But when I got here and I started to build my professional career, I didn't find people who looked like me when I showed up in networking events. And I am a super introvert. And I just remember attending my first networking event, and I said, I'll never, ever do that again. I felt so uncomfortable. And I know people who, networking is stressful for a lot of people. But when you're a person of color and you walk into a room and you don't see anyone, you do that scan. I know that people of color scan, and sometimes the women do the women scan, and then you do the anybody my age scan. So think about that when you think about what The Third Place does in terms of creating communities and opportunities for social and professional networking. What we essentially do is try to build capital within our communities, so within BIPOC communities, within the Black community, but also build connections from those communities to companies as well. So we have a lot of networking events that are specifically tailored towards creating that sense of it is all of us in the room at one time, and I don't have to code switch. It is all of us coming equally with similar experiences and being able to relax in a different way. It's like if you were to go to another country or another state or something, you don't know anyone. Being able to have an opportunity twice a month to do that is empowering, and it also enables people to build those skills to come to networking events like this. It makes it easier. So the capital that we build within our community and outside of our community is important. We organize individuals within Maine's economic sectors. We have organizing groups in healthcare, housing, media and communications, banking and financial services. I know I'm going to forget so many right now because I'm trying to keep it short. But we organize individuals in their sectors so that they can meet each other. We think about recruitment and retention in business, about what happens in the workplace, and it's more so what happens outside. I always tell people there's no amount of money sometimes that you can pay someone to keep someone in a place where they feel like they don't belong. And that's true for anybody, particularly with people of color when you are in a workplace that is not diverse and you're in a state that's not diverse. So when you're coming to a workplace and you're leaving the workplace, where are you gonna go? So we help build those connections with the community, And we also are slowly integrating the process of making those connections where it's not awkward to show up in places. And the most requests that I get from individuals, from businesses who ask, how do we make those connections to the BIPOC community? I say, you get in the room with them. And so we've been doing that a lot throughout the state. We've been inching our way up the turnpike. And I'm really excited about the prospects of building those relationships between Maine's economic sectors and seeing what that looks like in 5 to 10 years. I hope it happens faster, but that's essentially what we do at the Third Place. And I encourage all of you who are looking for ways to connect with communities of color, professionals of colors, and entrepreneurs and community builders to connect with the Third Place, and we'll figure out a way to get people in the room, because the best way to do DEI is to actually meet people. Take it from theory into actual action and build those relationships that are simple. It's simple, it's just connecting people in communities. So with that, I'm done.